The Magic Windmill. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived two brothers called Rufus and Pascal. Rufus was married to a rich woman and had everything that money could buy: elegant clothes, an enormous house, and the tastiest food. Pascal, on the other hand, in spite of working from dawn till dusk, didn't even earn enough to feed his family. Every now and then, Pascal went to his brother's house to ask him for a little money. "Rufus, my children are hungry and I need some money to buy them food. Could you lend me a little money?" Tired of seeing his brother in his house asking for money, Rufus got very angry and slammed the door in his face, saying that he wouldn't lend him any more money and that he would just have to sort out his problems on his own. Poor Pascal, crying his eyes out, he started to walk home. Suddenly, an old lady appeared in the middle of the road. "Pascal, I know you haven't got enough money to feed your family, even though you work from dawn till dusk. Your brother has refused to give you any help, so I will help you. Here, take this windmill. It is magic. If you turn the handle to the right and make a wish, the windmill will grant your wish. When you want it to stop, you must turn the handle to the left and say, 'Thank you, windmill. You can stop now. I have enough.' And if you want to avoid trouble, don't tell anybody about the windmill." From that time on, Pascal's life changed completely. He turned the handle to the right and asked for food. First he asked for bread, then sardines, and then carrots and peas, and everything he and his family needed. Pascal and his family weren't hungry anymore, and he and his wife were very happy. When they had had enough food, Pascal turned the handle to the left, saying, "Thank you, windmill. You can stop now, since I have enough." Now Pascal was not at all greedy, and thanks to the windmill, he began to help some of his neighbors who had also been having a hard time. When Rufus found out that his brother was getting on so well, he went to Pascal's house to find out how he had managed it. But Pascal, remembering the words of the old lady who gave him the windmill, wouldn't tell him anything at all. Rufus was very angry and was determined to find out the truth. He waited until night had fallen and peeked through the window of his brother's house. Just at that moment, Pascal took out the windmill and, turning the handle to the right, he asked for money as he wanted to share it with some villagers who had lost their house in a forest fire. Rufus went home feeling very pleased with himself now that he knew the secret. One morning, when he knew that neither Pascal nor his family were at home because they had gone to help the villagers rebuild the houses they had lost, Rufus sneaked into his brother's house and stole the windmill. As he was unkind and mean, he didn't want to share anything he could get from the windmill with anybody else. He jumped on board one of the boats he owned and sailed off to the deep, deep sea, as he was sure that nobody could bother him in the middle of the ocean. When he was far from land, he decided to make a fine meal before starting to ask the windmill for all sorts of riches. He discovered that he had everything he needed for his meal except for salt. With a wicked smile on his face, he thought to himself, "The first thing I ask the windmill for will be very simple." He turned the handle to the right and asked for salt. But do you know what? Rufus didn't know the spell to stop the windmill, and he didn't know that he had to turn the handle to the left. When he saw that he had had enough salt, he asked the windmill to stop, but the windmill didn't stop. It just went right on making salt. Salt, salt, and more salt. The boat got heavier and heavier, until the boat sank and Rufus drowned. Grandmothers say, and they are the wisest people in the world, that the windmill is still making salt in the sea, and that is why the water in the sea is so salty.